You're right, everyone. Welcome back to the Hammer and Talk Welcome to the Hammer and Talk 2 YouTube channel. I wanted to go into a little bit more detail about this game and just put my thoughts out there, really, you know, for you lot to listen to, and to most of all to get the feedback from you, what you think about it. I just wanted to speak about just a couple of issues that I've got with this game between West Ham United and Watford. Just a few things that I feel like are quite questionable about David Moyes, you know, in his first game. But please, let's all bear in mind it is his first game, okay? You know, and I just think that people do need to just, you know, just be a little bit patient at the moment, because it is really early days and things can change in football so quick. But it's just a few things I want to highlight that I think, yeah, really, not so much got to me, but it really got me thinking about during the game. And the first thing, which is quite disappointing as well, because I did actually say this at half time. I tweeted out on my Twitter account. I said that I think I would genuinely rather us lose 2-0 with Martinez on the pitch than lose 2-0 with Sacko coming on, basically. With Carroll being on the pitch, and that's pretty much what happened. You know, we lost 2-0 with Carroll on the pitch, and Martinez didn't get to play or get any experience at all. And I think that was a real wasteful opportunity for David Moyes, especially the fact is that he ended up subbing Carroll off for Sacko, and that was my biggest problem, my biggest issue that I had with David Moyes. What he might do, he may bring on Sacko, somebody that doesn't really want to play for West Ham and doesn't really care about what the fans think, instead of somebody that the fans really like and he cares about what the West Ham fans think. You know, you're picking that player over that player, and you're picking a player that is well and truly, you know, in the latter stages of his career, especially given his injuries, compared to a player that's really young, up and coming, you know, really trying to wait for that, you know, to grasp that opportunity to play. And for me, it was a big worry. I thought, mate, big window there missed. And I feel like maybe that was the perfect game to play Tony Martinez. You know, 1-0 down, Carroll coming off. You know, bring Martinez on, give us something positive to speak about and something to focus on. You know, as a fan base, to say, you know what? At least Tony Martinez came on, and at least he's got a big. But we didn't even say that. We had Sacko come on. You know, not really performing brilliantly. Just. It's kind of like the hero and villain situation. People don't want to see Sacko in a West Ham. I'm not saying everyone. I know there's some people that really do want Sacko on the pitch, but there's a lot of us that really don't want to see him on there and would rather see Tony Martinez on there. And I thought that Moyes bringing on Sacko instead of Carroll, I thought that what he was going to do is like swapping them. I thought he was going to change the way we was going to play. I thought he was going to start playing a lot more, you know, on the floor football, a lot more passing between the lines, you know, running those channels down. But we didn't. Like, there was a lot of balls still going in from Masuaku and Zabaleta. There's both whipping balls in as well, and Lanzini was floating balls in. Noble was floating balls in higher, and it got me thinking that why are we doing this when we've got somebody similar that's really good in the air, that really thrives in his aerial ability, in Tony Martinez. It's like, I don't get that logic. I mean, a comeback was far from being on the cards, let's be honest. The way Watford were playing, the way they were spraying that ball across was very impressive. And I thought if we was going to score, it was going to be from a lucky goal or a decision, you know, against Watford in terms of an unfair decision. Maybe something going our way for once, you know. And it obviously didn't happen, but it really got me question marks over it, with the whole, you know, the youth Martinez coming in, and, you know, he must be really excited to be this close to be playing. And I do think he just really needs a game. I think we need to get him on the pitch. The second thing that's got me a bit worried, not worried, but had me thinking, was Obiang and Kayate. I thought both of them, to be honest with you, played really poor. I think Kayate will get more of a benefit of that because he did make forward runs, but I thought Obiang was chasing a lot of shadows today, a lot of shadows. But for me, I thought Kayate was as equally as poor, and and he's been poor for a long time. Kayate, that's the difference, right? And I feel like when a player is that performing badly, you know, you've got your youth players that play well pretty much every time they come on, like Fernandez. Every time Fernandez comes, I've very rarely got a bad word to say about Fernandez, you know. I know now and again he has to cover at right back, he's done for us. But when he plays in his position in midfield, he's a really, really good player. And he works well with our other players. He works well when he's playing with Obiang. He works well when he's playing with Noble. You know, he knows what he's doing, Fernandez. He's a really intelligent player. And I would like to see him featured more for West Ham than the likes of Kayate. Just for me, I just feel like he needs a rest. Obiang, yeah, he was chasing shadows today, but remember, he come up against a really, really good Watford team. They ain't in that league position for no reason, you know. They're not trying to break that top 6 for no reason. They're a really, really good team. And you know, like I said in my review, that congratulations to him. You can't take anything away from them. They played really, really well. I thought another player that played quite well for West Ham was Joe Hart. Now, we lost 2-0 and we had a goalkeeper, saving some really good saves. Where would we be without Joe Hart right now? I mean, serious. This geezer's like, he's not even our player. We loaned him from City and we're reliant this much on him. I'm not saying that if Adrian was in, he wouldn't have saved them as well. But I'm just saying the facts are the facts, that Joe Hart is the one saving, in between the sticks right now. And he's the one that's doing really, really well. And the thing is, if you end up coming across 8 to 10 shots every game that are on target, shots that are on target, you're not going to save them all. You've got to be a ridiculous keeper. You've got to be somebody somebody out of this world. Like a Peter Schmeichel was back in the day. Like Buffon, And you can't expect that from Joe Hart. You can't. He's a really, really good goalkeeper. I think he's fantastic for England. But he's not that good, and I think our defence needs to have a little bit more respect for that situation and realise that maybe he's not an incredible goalie. They need to really do a lot better. And for me, a big defensive mistake, because this is leading up to the big issue here, which is Declan Rice, in my opinion. Reed coming back and going straight back into the squad after the whole jet lag and the late fitness test, and him, kind of like rushy last minute stuck him in. And I'm not saying that it was his fault, like directly about the second goal, but I just feel like if your player has a doubt and it's that long, and you've got a youth coming through, again, the same situation with a youth. He's waiting, he's just there, he's just on the edge of getting his big time, and his responsibility, getting the responsibility of having that position, making it his own, and then last minute stripping it away from him, and then him not even featuring. So there's going to be two really disappointed youths on our bench tonight. That is definitely Martinez and Rice. I feel for them. I think Rice should have played, and I think Martinez should have played. At least got an opportunity, especially ahead of Sacko, somebody that does not want to play for West Ham United, someone that does not care about the fans. And for me, I think these are some things that we need to really start questioning. And it's early days, I know, but just question Moyes. Just because I don't want it to get to a stage right in the season where it's too late and it's like there's no point moaning anymore because we're relegated. So I do want to highlight it now, just so it's a few things for us to think about, So, we've got a few things in the future we've got to start keeping an eye on. So I think we've definitely got to keep an eye on the Declan Rice defensive situation. We've got to keep an eye on this Joe Hart, because is he going to stay with us? Is he? Are we going to keep relying on this goalkeeper? Do we need to start being nice to Adrian again? Start bringing him in a bit more often, because we're going to be left with just Adrian, These are the things. Martinez was one of the biggest ones. So Martinez and Rice, we need to sort that out. It needs to be highlighted and it needs to be addressed. And I said this in my review that I don't think there's I don't think there's any new issues with West Ham, things going wrong. I think he's definitely plugged a few problems, without a doubt, David Moyes. When we're losing, we're not just giving up. That's one thing. We didn't give up. It wasn't all out, hands down. If anything, like weapons down, just I don't care no more. I'm just going to play it here. I don't care. I'm going to jog to this player. I don't really care. But we are seeing some problems that are still there from Bilic. For me, simple little passes. We see Kayate and Obiang doing some real poor passing today. Players being left isolated. Andy Carroll, you can't have a geezer that's as big as, and you're using him as a big, massive, towering target man, and then leave him all on his own. We know there's got to be. We know they're meant to have a certain level of holding the ball up, but not to the point of where you've got to hold the ball up for longer than 10-20 seconds. No, holding the ball up, you hold it up for a couple of seconds, then you lay it off to the player. You don't sit there 10 seconds, run onto the side of the pitch, because that's where he was. He was on the side of the pitch. They rushed him into the side. Like the Watford players were just hounding him like wolves, and he had no choice. And he was actually doing really well. He was jumping over here, then he ducked over it, then he did a feint, then he did a little turn, and he really worked his way, and it was really disappointing, and that's what led to his yellow in the end. And I just think that if we can stop these problems, if David Moyes can stop these problems that we've had with Bilic, with isolation of players, simple 5-yard passes, then he'll be halfway there. He really will. I've got to say, I'm definitely not happy. I'm not excited about the result. I don't know. It feels like a real anti-climax. Do you know what I mean? A proper anti-climax. Like, I think that is the perfect word to call this, because there was a lot of positivity leading up to this with all the social media going on. You know, their team, their PR, or the players' PRs getting them to do interviews, speaking positive, the manager, the positive training videos going on backstage, all the things that they're posting in and around the club. And I don't know, I just think this has been a real slap in the face to the build-up of, you know, David Moyes potentially being the saviour of West Ham. And you know, I've said from the very start, I don't believe he's a saviour of West Ham, and I'm so open to this geezer, so open to him proving me wrong. And you know, he's got to have time. I just want to end on that note, that he needs to have time, people. We cannot start jumping on his back and slagging him down and slaying him. We can't do it this early, man. It is way too soon. Give the geezer some opportunity. Give him a chance to see what it's like when we get the first goal, if we ever do score again. You know, situations where it's heated and we've got to try and hold on to a lead. How does he deal with that defensively? We've really got to, you know, just give him his chance. That's all I ask. I don't want to see too much hate for Dave Moyes in the comments below. I just want to, you know, just want to highlight for you lot, just so you're like, okay, you know what? All right. We'll put that on board. We'll see what goes on in the coming weeks. So yeah, let me know what you think about the video, people. If you did come over from my main channel, thank you so much. Come over and subscribing. Every time I do a West Ham video, I'll do a review over there. I'm going to give it a little bit more thoughts over here. If you lot, give you a bit more, give you an incentive to come over here and watch this channel as well, because I do want to grow on both. I've been saying it quite a bit. I want to really grow 2 channels. That is really what I'm working for right now. My first channel, you know, the original Hammer and Talk one is absolutely flying, and I really do appreciate that, and I appreciate everyone who's coming over as well. All right, thank you so much. Anyway, people, I am gone. Comment, like, subscribe, and as always, keep sharing my stuff. I'll see you all later.